our final award, the most prestigious of the night, the James A. Haslam Chairman's Leadership Award.
The Leadership Award is presented to a longtime Knoxville business leader who exhibits strength and character, resolve, commitment, and exemplary success in the regional business community.
We thank Prestige Cleaners for sponsoring this award and realizing the importance of honoring this Knoxville leader.
Criteria for this award: character, resolve, commitment, and exemplary success. Tonight's honoree exemplifies each and every one of these qualities. As one of the longest-running CEOs of the Knoxville Utility Board, her philosophy is simple: get out of the way of smart people, and ego is the enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the 2019 recipient of the James A. Haslam Chairman's Leadership Award to Mrs. Mintha Roach. But before we hear from Mintha, though, let's hear what her friends and her colleagues have to say about her. Take a look.
I'd just like to say that I can't think of anybody who's more deserving of receiving the Haslam Leadership Award than Mintha Roach. Mintha, over the years that I've known her, has been a true leader, and she exemplified that every day to everyone that she worked with within KUB. You didn't have to be around KUB very long before you started hearing a term that's used, and probably still is used there today, and it's, what would Mintha do? Anytime there was a tough question, anytime there was a situation where you wanted to make sure that you were acting ethically, or that you wanted to make sure you were doing the right thing, not only for the organization, but for the customers and the community that you served, that's what everybody stopped and thought about. What would Mintha do in this situation? And I think that says a lot.
Mintha is the consummate professional. Whether she's serving on a board or on a task force with a specific project or on a committee, she always approaches those responsibilities with an open mind. She never comes to the table with an agenda. She always thinks about the mission. Another thing I admire about Mintha is the fact that she surrounds herself with smart people and she lets them do their job. It's never about Mintha. She checks her ego at the door, and it's always about either the organization, or it's about customers or friends or people she works with in the community.
About leadership, Stephen Jobs said that one should be a yardstick for excellence, so that those around you know that excellence is expected. Mintha's always been a yardstick for excellence, never more prominently so than at KUB, but also in her roles at Leadership Knoxville, the Chamber, the University. She's been amazing, and people have risen to her expectations of excellence. But she also has done all of this while being an amazing wife, an amazing mother, a wonderful daughter, and one of the best friends that anyone could ever have. In fact, I would say she's excellent at almost everything, except for one thing. The speed at which she operates a motor vehicle is truly terrifying. And I love you, Mintha, but whenever we're in the car together, I'm going to be driving.
So first of all, Mintha Roach is the epitome of a leader. She's mentored many folks, many KUB employees, many people in the community. One of the things she always stressed was a good leader develops other people. And so she has done that through the boards she has served, through being president and CEO of KUB. And personally, I don't know that I'd be in this position if she didn't develop me to be who I am today. Mintha Roach took over at KUB as our president and CEO. It was obviously during some tough times at KUB. We just lost our previous CEO to cancer. It was kind of traumatic. And her style was not exactly the same style that he had. She was different. She had a human resources background, and more of a people-centered background. And we were evolving as a company, and her brand, her style, her culture really embraced our customers and our employees as we are here to provide a service to everybody in Knoxville. So customer focus was a priority for her. One of the things I've heard from many of our employees is Mintha always knew my name. No matter how big the company got or who the community was, she knew everybody. And she had that personal touch to everything she did. It was a unique situation, one that I'm trying to emulate because I see the value in that. But I don't have quite the gifts that she had to do that. But it was something that was unique about her that just that made it more, everybody's got a part to play and everybody's very important to the organization. And she really emphasized that throughout her career.
Congratulations, Mintha.
Congratulations, Mintha.
Congratulations, Mintha. You deserve this award, and I'm so happy for you.
Congratulations, Mintha. We're very proud of you. I can't think of anyone who's more deserving of this reward. Because of you, Knoxville is a stronger community. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorted by Prestige Cleaners President and CEO Eddie Manis, please welcome to the stage the 2019 James A. Haslam Chairman's Leadership Award honoree, the newly retired CEO of KUB, Mintha Roach.
Thank you all very, very much. This is a true honor for me. Before I let Eddie walk off, I just want to say thanks to Eddie Manis for sponsoring this award. It means a lot to me to receive it from him. I was on the zoo board with Eddie, so I agree with Lisa's comments. He does a lot in the community, and he's a true friend. So thank you very much. And before I start, I want to say congratulations to all the nominees and winners tonight. I've been sitting down there watching, and it's truly amazing how many great companies we have here, and this is just a little bit of what we have. So you are what is making Knoxville great, the quality of the life we have here, the jobs that we have here. So thank you for your good work and keep it up. And I really want to thank the Chamber, the staff, and its board for sponsoring this event to highlight these businesses. We were standing backstage and we said, this is great exposure, particularly for some of the small companies. So thank you what you do for these small companies, Chamber and staff. This has been a great event tonight, and I know it's a lot of hard work, but I want you to know it's appreciated. I'm really honored to receive this. I'm very humbled by it, in particular because this award is named after Jim Haslam. Jim has been very special to me. He has been my mentor, actually, whether he would claim it or not. But when I first became CEO, I had a lot of doubts about my abilities to do it. And he came to see me and brought me a little card, and it had 10 tips about leadership. 2 of those were what you heard from Robin when she made the introduction. But the one about getting out of the way of the smart people, I think that's really good when you're in the electrical business and you don't know anything about electricity. So I tried to stay out of the way of everybody who was doing anything slightly dangerous because I didn't want to be in it. Mr. Haslam was also the person who taught me how important it was to be involved in the community. There is no person who's given back more to this community and has been a better role model than Jim Haslam, and I appreciate that. And when you look at the list of the other people who've received this award, I'm the 15th. Yeah. Look on page 10 of your book. I looked through it tonight as I was sitting there, and I was just in awe of all the people who have given back and given so much to this community, not only in operating their business, but by giving back to the community. And that's part of what leadership is about. It's supporting others when others need that support. Raja Jabran's here. He and I worked for a long time, at least 6 years, as chair and co-chair under the old format of Leadership Knoxville. I learned a lot from Raja about leadership and his efforts to lead the Leadership Knoxville program. And if you notice on that list, it has them in order, and the first 10 recipients were all males. Notice now with me, the last 4 have been females. So I think we're turning up here, women. I think it's a good thing. 2 years ago, my friend Pam Fansler got this award, and last year Sharon Price got it. Sharon was on the board when I was appointed CEO, so I very much consider her a friend. And as all of you know, Pam, she gives you great advice, and she's been in my corner forever. I think it's really important that we say thank you to these folks for what they've done, because where would this community be without them? So thank you all. Now I'll tell you where I wouldn't be if it weren't for KUB and its standing here, because this award is really not about me. It's about the men and women of KUB. Every day they work very, very hard to provide service to this community. And as you know, we're a municipal utility, and as such, we're a monopoly. Wouldn't you all like to have that in your business? It'd make your business a lot easier, wouldn't it? But the truth is, because of that, we've worked very hard to not take that for granted and to support our entire community of customers, and that includes the business customers. We know it's very important for you to have reliable utility service, and that's why we want to make sure that we give that to you, even though we are a monopoly. The men and women of KUB also give back to our community. They're very invested in the United Way and many other organizations. They give out volunteer time, they work hard to support other people. I don't know what it is about the people at KUB, but the culture is just incredible. They're great leaders, they're great workers, but they also care and have compassion for everyone. And that really starts at the top with leadership, and that is really with our board. Our board is an appointed board by the mayor and city council. And Bruce Anderson's here tonight. He was the chair of the board when I was appointed CEO. Celeste Herbert's here. She was the chair of the board when I decided to retire from the board. So I don't know which one had the harder job. But all the board members in between have been incredible. They've taught me a lot about leadership, and they are invested in this community just like every KUB employee is. And I want to say thanks to all my KUB family. Several of them are here tonight. I know there's a lot to do on Friday nights and not be here, but I thank you for being here. I thank you for the support that you gave me through the years. I couldn't have done it without all of you all, so thank you so much. And finally, you give me a microphone on the night that we're honoring one of our own who's leaving, and that is Mike Edwards. And that's probably a mistake, because Mike and I have known each other for over 40 years. I was doing the math, Mike. It's at least 40 years. Mike and I started working at City Hall together, City County building together, many, many years ago. And he was always one of those people that gave me really good advice. And I took that advice some of the time. Well, most of the time. But Mike has always been a really, really good friend. So I want to close my comments tonight with saying thank you to Mike Edwards for what he's done in his role in leading this community. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Mike. And finally, I have the greatest group of friends, a couple of them you saw in the video, that have enriched my life and made me a better person, and I thank them for being here tonight and supporting me in everything that I've done. I really don't drive that fast. It's a myth, but if Robin wants to believe that, okay. And finally, the best decision I ever made in my life is marrying my husband, John. All of you know I have no patience who know me, and John got a double dose, so he can put up with me quite well, and we have the most wonderful sons, and I've been blessed by our marriage. So thank you all for this honor. I'm pleased to be here, and I want to congratulate everybody in the business community for this event tonight. Thank you so much.